What is a trauma bond? A trauma bond, also known as a traumatic bonding or Stockholm Syndrome in certain contexts, refers to a strong emotional connection that forms between an individual and their abuser or the source of their trauma. It typically occurs in situations where there is a significant power imbalance or when one person is subjected to repeated abuse or trauma by another person or group. Key characteristics of a trauma bond include emotional dependency. The person who experiences the trauma bond often becomes emotionally dependent on the abuser. They may feel a deep need for approval, validation, or affection from the very person who is causing them harm. Conflicting feelings. Individuals in a trauma bond often experience conflicting emotions. They may feel fear, anger, and resentment toward the abuser, but at the same time, they might also feel a strong attachment, love, or loyalty to them. Isolation. Abusers in trauma-bonded relationships often isolate their victims from friends and family, making it even more difficult for the victim to break free from the bond. This isolation can further strengthen the emotional dependence on the abuser. Manipulation and control. Abusers use various tactics, such as gaslighting, emotional manipulation, and intermittent reinforcement, to maintain control over their victims and keep them trapped in the bond. Rationalization and denial. Victims may rationalize or deny the abuse they are experiencing, making excuses for their abuser's behavior or blaming themselves for the mistreatment. This can be a way of coping with the cognitive dissonance between their feelings of love and fear. Cycles of abuse. Trauma bonds are often reinforced by cycles of abuse, where periods of extreme cruelty are followed by moments of kindness or remorse from the abuser. This intermittent reinforcement can create a sense of hope that the relationship will improve. Trauma bonds can form in various contexts, such as abusive relationships, cults, hostage situations, and even in cases of child abuse. Breaking a trauma bond can be a complex and challenging process, often requiring therapy, support from loved ones, and a safe environment away from the abuser. It's important to note that trauma bonding is a psychological response to a traumatic situation and should not be interpreted as a voluntary or conscious choice on the part of the victim. Understanding and empathy are essential when helping individuals in such situations. If you or someone you know is in an abusive relationship or experiencing a trauma bond, it is crucial to seek professional help and support to address the situation safely.